Hi guys, welcome back to Kit Car Director and MK Sportscars. Well, it's the weekend again. Another week's gone. It's crazy, isn't it? Soon be Christmas, don't worry. And you get all your nice presents. Don't forget to order your clothing. Ready? Hats. You know, you want them on your Christmas list. If you like what you see and you're into your kit cars, guys, then why not subscribe to our channel? Press subscribe. Click on the bell icon. Press all. And it'll send you notifications each week. So what are we doing? Chassis production, still motoring ahead. Got another one here arrived. Round tube chassis, this one. So it's an RR, S2000 based Mazda. This one's going to be winging its way across the pond, I do believe, this one. So that's still continuing, and they have been flying, and we've got a couple more that's arrived down there as well. So one kit went out this week. We delivered that successfully, COVID friendly, of course. We're trying to keep everything tight as possible, and we'll have a couple more going out over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully they'll be on the Christmas resi list for when they break down and you can start the builds and etc. And hopefully you'll see that on social media and these people's builds continue. So that's great. Chassis are still on. We're still about 12 to 14 week guys. If you look at the order book's pretty buoyant at the moment. So touch base with us, you know where we are, socials, Instagram, etc. Phone call the old way. Then we'll does that anymore, nobody does that. That phone, I tell you, it's off the hook. So that's brilliant. But yeah, hopefully you can see, and I'd love you to come down and see the chassis. We can talk you through it, but maybe when things change, we can then come down and you can have a look. That'd be fantastic. Right, DAX. We've been continuing that this week. We're trying to get the emissions dialed in. We've been doing loads of bits of trimming and everything else. It's all silly things like covering rubbers and everything else for IVA for the customer. So it's got a lot of things, and a little couple of electrical gremlins, etc. on there as well. But it's mainly the emissions, trying to get it dialed in. The bike engines, they're tricky to do. I'm not going to say they're easy, because they're not. But they're tricky. They can be done. We do them. But they are tricky to do. So you do need an MOT, a friendly MOT station to dial these things in. So that'll be heading off to the IVA test centre soon as well. So that's pretty much there. All the lights are sorted out now. The fog light switch we had to change because it was I don't know if you know, guys, but you on off on a fog light switch. You have to be able to switch your lights off, and it goes off. When you switch it back on again, it doesn't come on. You've got to be able to switch it on again. So it needs a what is it? A latching relay, a non-latching relay, isn't it? Sort of thing.
It's a gizmo box that we sell.
It's a gizmo box we sell. Just look it up on the website. You'll find it there. Just look in fog light.
It's called an IVA compliant fog light module.
There you go. And we've already developed it for you, so you don't even have to think about it. That's the best thing about it. So that's cool. That's where we're on with the DAX. Right, Richard's RX5, been on with that. A few bits and bobs. It's all the little things that you don't see behind the scenes that we've been doing, really. Whether it be trimming all the holes for IVA, fixing all the bits in here for wiring, niggly little things like this, all this IVA trim you're putting on now. Obviously, you noticed last week that the intercooler and radiator set was put on, but we've been doing lots of niggly little bits behind the scenes on this, buttoning up some of the wiring and etc. Side panels, we won't bond on just yet. We're nearly finished with those because we were just prepping all the exhaust system and link pipe. That's been done, and a bracket we've fitted on for that, so that can then go on once the side panels are finally bonded on. So it's been a lot of fiddling and fettling off and on this week on this particular car. So it doesn't look like a huge amount of change, but sometimes you get those big changes when you put it all onto the four wheels and it looks fantastic, and you bolt a few side panels on it changes straight away, and then you do a load of little jobs that you think, oh, it don't look like nothing's changed. Well, you'll get that when you do that in the build. So don't get too disheartened when you're building your cars and you think, God, I've been down on that all week and don't look like nothing's changed. Those little jobs are the attention to detail to make A, it'll be better, and B, it'll be more reliable. So don't, pay that attention to detail when you're doing all of the niggly little bits, especially paying attention to wiring fixings, brake line fixings, fuel line fixings, all those little things that get looked for when you IVA, and also add to reliability later on down the line. So that's what we've been on with this one. Right, MC time. R1 MC, as you can see, the biggest change. So there's a big change on this one this week. Obviously, side panels on. We spoke about it last week, so we've been cutting all the holes for the side panels on this one, and all for the exhaust system. This dimensions will we hopefully, because the manual is very much a live document, so we will put those dimensions in to cut this nice hole. It's all been rubber trimmed off, etc. for the R1 system. They'll connect up to the silencer here. As a final bracket to do, but the orange, I think, orange, yellow, we said last week, they're great colours, really strong colours. really suit this type of 7 style car anyway. So that's what we've been on, cutting out a few bits of the panels, some bonding onto the side panels interior wise and things like that we've been tinkering with as well. The push rods are up here for a reason until we obviously sort out fitting the panels for the final time, a bit like Richard's car over there as well. So we're cracking on with that, and then we'll get that bolted together and bonded the same as on that one. We do a lot of the dry fitting first while we're cracking on with the cars. The rear end's pretty much buttoned down, as we said last week, with all the calipers in there as well. We started on with some of the hoses and etc. What should we do? The lights are already wired in, these already, so they're on plugs all ready to shoot and go once we draw them into the wheel arches. So they're already done, front and rears, fogs, everything, they're already done, just once we've finished the body panels to trim them in. So cool, that's where we've been up to on the MC anyway. Mazda RX-5 left hooker. Welcome to the bird's nest. Yeah, so what have we been doing on this week? Apart from the obvious here we started on. So radiator's gone on, 40mm radiator, alley one, that's gone on. We started connecting some of the hose pipes onto this as well. It's a 120 watt fan on the rear of that as well that we run. That's been fitted on. We've finished some of the brake lines, braided hoses at the front. The rear has now been pretty much there, buttoned up, we were saying last week. So handbrake calipers on the rear done, braided hoses in, handbrakes finally fixed and done and crossed, fuel pump mounted in, fuel lines ready to go on, and we've been running all the loom, really, all the loom fixes. So you can just about see in here, there's a little saddle bush that we fix all the way through the chassis. We prefer to use saddle bushes rather than P-clips. If you ever need to get access to your wiring loom, it's a cable tied on, you can just click it off again and reuse it, so it's much easier. So we run them all the way through the chassis, here, down the bottom, up, all the way in these points here, right the way through to the chassis up here. And then we've got a bulkhead panel, aluminium one here, which we use for our ECU and fuse box. Now, in the manual, it shows you mounting this fuse box, which this is the standard Mazda loom, which we have to then doctor. Now, that's all in the manual to tell you which wires to cut out of this bird's nest, because there's a lot to come out. You've got stereos, electric aerials, electric windows, you know, all of those little things that you just don't use on these cars, all gets gotten rid of basically. Now, we used to mount this fuse box up here, so we've now looked at it and thought, well, for access might be easier then if you want to cut a hole in this panel and mount it this way, and that way you can pop that off from underneath the dashboard there and get you all your fuses rather than taking the bulkhead off. So that's maybe another top tip, it'll be an option. We'll put that in the manual as well and show you that. So to say, that's why we keep the manual live rather than a paper document, and that way we can update it. If there's a better solution and we find it going forward, then we'll throw it in there, and you know, it makes life easier to build, and that's what we do, rather than a black and white one that gets thrown around and then it's no use to anybody because it's been changed 10 times, version 4.0, etc. So that's why we do it. And the manual is available to download, isn't it, online?
It is. It's all available online for every builder.
Yep.
They'll get the links with a welcome email.
Get links with the welcome email. We do charge for it initially for anybody that's wanting it. I think it's about £50 charge, but if you buy a kit and etc., we refund that anyway. We take that off your purchase price. So it is free, but it's just out there on there. But it's just on our website. Just jump on there. It'll be available just straight out. So that's where kind of we've been on with this week with the Mazda car. That's bolting together quite nicely, but it's going to take a little while. Again, this is going to be one of them ones where you won't see any change. Oh, bolt. Look at that. Forgot. Rear bulkhead panel has been fitted on as well, so we use the blackhead rivets, powder coated aluminium panels all inside there. But so yeah, you won't see a huge amount of change in this until the wiring's buttoned up. This one's a standard loom, and then the yellow one's having the RX system. The system, well, it's meant to be here yesterday, but the courier hasn't delivered it yet. It's been shipped, so it's on its way, and it should hopefully hit our doorsteps on Monday, so we can crack on with wiring on that one as well, and then we'll show you that as you go along. But that's going to be very much a more plug and play affair. You won't have this to deal with at all. It's just several plugs to plug it into the loom, into the ECU. It makes life a lot simpler, but obviously there's a cost involved. So if you're looking for cost saving wise, you go this route. You use your donor loom and you modify it. Obviously, if you want the simplicity of plug and play, then we can do that with the RX system as well. Right guys, another fantastic week. Crazy busy. Parts wise, it's going mental. We're still shipping parcels out, so if you're looking for parts, although you can't visit us here, unfortunately, at the moment. We're still shipping them out. Parts-wise, we carry all plethora of... This is all the small stuff. We've moved into a different location, so if it's from a mushroom insert, like these kind of things, you know, we've got them on the shelf, ready to go, to polybush kits, to... what have we got there? Wing stay brackets, to mirrors, to everything, really. We've got loads of stuff, whether it be Bose joints and foam filters and pipe across filters. We've got loads of bits in stock. We don't carry absolutely everything in stock, but you know, we carry quite a bit, and because the fiberglass stuff we, you know, generally do to order, because there's about 10 different colour choices, and some of the carbon bits are coming in. Bearing in mind, actually, I think we've got a carbon delivery due. Tuesday, Wednesday, I think we've got a big carbon delivery coming in, so we'll be shipping all your carbon parts out to you Tuesday, Wednesday. That's aero screens, front wings and bits like that, lacquer ducts and canards and things like that. They'll all be coming in. So, yeah, but if you're looking to hook yourself up something for nice for Christmas, just jump on the website, Kit Car Direct or the MK Sportscars one, and yeah, we'll see if we can ship that and get you ready for your Christmas time, so you can get it bolted onto your car. That's it. So, right, what else can I say? Like, share. We'll catch you next week, guys.